Hi, so this week's topic was talking about classroom demonstration of self-monitoring, reactivity, and inter-observer agreement. And the question was your thoughts on self-monitoring. I think that self-monitoring is a great strategy, especially, working with any type of student, especially students that struggle with behavior, because I don't think they fully understand how their behavior might be impacting others or even themselves. So I think looking and observing your own behavior and measuring where you are is a great technique, especially when wanting to change a student's behavior. There are pros and cons to it, kind of like the article talked about. Self-monitoring is great. However, when you know you're monitoring your behavior might then change or not, or be different from how you normally would act. And they gave the example of when you knew how many times you were blinking, maybe you were blinking too many times than you normally would. So there will be a discrepancy in that data. And then obviously the pros is you learn how to maybe self-regulate, how to be more aware and be more mindful of your behavior. So I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and it's a strategy that can be used in all types of different classrooms. And the last portion of the question is how I might use it in the classroom. I try to use self-monitoring in my classroom on a daily basis. Since I have a self-contained first and second grade classroom, I try to do so with the zones of regulation, just because it's a easier, very concrete way for my students who have autism to really see emotions and then regulate where they're at, or maybe where they were at when they were angry and how they got there and how they can bring themselves down. It's just a way that I use that in my classroom. And I have all types of different strategies that I've taught my students, that when they are in yellow or red, what they can do to get back to green. And it's taught pretty much on a daily basis. I have visual cards, my aides have visual cards, and we're constantly asking our students to analyze where they're at. And we even say, when you're in green, this is what green looks like. So that way they can visually see it and hear it. And even we'll point it out if a student is doing it. I'll be like, oh, I like how you are sitting and your eyes are on me. You are in green. I know you're ready to work. It's just an easier way for students to self-monitor themselves if they're doing those things or not. And if they're not, they can correct their behavior and perform that as well. I am trying to work a way into where students can graph or maybe write down where they're at in my classroom. But I'm still trying to work that out. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. I'm always looking for suggestions on that. But that's just how we use self-monitoring skills in my classroom.